Milestar Tires has assembled a group of 11 vehicles and 24 people for a 3-day trek across the Cascade Mountains and headed for the Pacific. None of the participants know the exact route, stops, or experiences we'll share, but that's all part of the adventure. I was invited to document the trip by my friends at TORQ Masters Industries, one of the sponsors of this event. Other sponsors include All Pro Off-Road, Van Compass, Turtleback Trailers, Adventure Hammock Systems, and Modern Jeeper. This is Expedition 4, the 4th event in a unique adventure series that Milestar Tires has put together.
Thank you everybody for joining us. Welcome to Expedition 4, XPDN4. I know that there's been a lot of, let's say, lack of an idea of what you're doing. I appreciate you trusting me and trusting Chris to create a really good route. One of the challenges that we have where we're at is that this year there was record snowpack late in the season. So in April, at the beginning, it was 35 or 65% snowpack. By the end or the beginning of May, there was 135% snowpack. So they got a really late storm that dumped a ton of moisture on the Cascades. So that, in addition to the wildfires that impacted the Cascades last year, the route planning, we've adjusted it 5 different times, either because stuff was impassable or routes were closed or the snow was just too deep. The cool part is that you're going to see a lot of Central Oregon, and then we're going to eventually cross the Cascades, and then we're going to reach the coast. We'll do some interesting stuff once we get there. Tonight we'll be camping, so it'll be dispersed, as well as tomorrow, but tomorrow we'll have facilities. We're gonna convene on radio channels. If anybody doesn't have a radio, we'll put you in between the mid-gunner and tail gunner.
What size is she?
Can I have you mid-gunner? Kelly's gonna be right behind you, so she'll always be right there. Everybody else, just fall in with the other vehicles. We only have 11, so it should be pretty easy. We're gonna head out here and probably cut the left and then take the route through Bend.
The drivers' meeting in Bend didn't reveal many specifics of the plan, but we turned on our radios, received our welcome packets, and grouped up to head in the direction of our first dirt road. As those of us who are not familiar with the area would learn, when you're among mountains this large in Central Oregon, once you start climbing an elevation, it doesn't take long before you start to experience some epic scenery.
I think it's safe to say we are not in New York anymore. And a lot of the clearing you're seeing is to prevent additional forest fire fuel. Most of it is dead pine, so they're trying to clear it in a preventative measure in order to reduce the impact of wildfires. When you get to a clearing, one of the fantastic things is you're going to look at Broken Top, which is at an elevation of nearly 9,200 feet. It's unique because it looks like it just exploded, almost like the top of Mount St. Helens. So Broken Top is immediately in front of us. We'll be passing about mid-level of its total height, about 5,000 feet. So once we get through this, you'll start to see all of the close groupings of the mountains. And this is just a highly volcanically active area, mostly because of the 2 tectonic plates that meet to create the Cascades.
For a few stunning moments, we were headed directly towards the Three Sisters, a close group of volcanic peaks standing more than 10,000 feet each. Gazing up at these snow-capped mountains was the perfect welcome to Central Oregon. We soon banked north and headed up a more rugged, tree-lined trail. As we gained an elevation again, the trees gave way to another absolutely epic look at the sisters in our rear view.
About 20 minutes, and we're going to be to a place near Balancing Rock with some very unique natural features that have been there for thousands of years, and the rocks are balancing on top of each other.
Our stomachs began to tell us it's time to find camp and eat, but the dispersed camping sites near Balanced Rocks on BLM land were not available, so we defaulted to Perry South Campground, right on the waters of Lake Billy Chinook. Tacos from El Sancho were on the menu for dinner, and they were delicious. Deschutes Brewery graciously provided a selection of craft beverages to complement. We made it to camp. People are getting set up. A little bit of an ordeal getting here, finding a spot. We're supposed to camp on BLM land, but that did not work out. So, Kelly has arrived with tacos, and we're about to kick this thing off at this little campground. But first, we're going to check out the lake. Lake Billy Chinook is a 7,500 square mile reservoir in Jefferson County. Created by the Round Butte Dam in 1964, this body of water lies in a canyon at the confluence of the Crooked, Deschutes, and Metolius rivers. As you might have guessed, it's named after Billy Chinook, a Native American of the Wasco tribe who traveled alongside American explorers John C. Fremont and Kit Carson in their expeditions of 1843 and 44.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So enthusiastic. Today is going to be a fun day. Not as coursey, but it will be very contrasting. So we're going to go on one end of the spectrum of terrain to another. That's really all I'm going to leave you with. We'll get back down to Sisters, the city. We'll fill up in Sisters. and then we'll head up the highway, Highway 20. Highway 20 happens to be closely mirror, within like a mile or two, the original Santiam wagon trail. It was used for over 100 years to get goods and supplies from the coast to the Central Valley here, over the Cascades. So it'll be really epic. You know, the Cascade Range within Oregon, it spans 260 miles, so the entirety of the state, but it cascades overall. The system goes from Northern California all the way into British Columbia. In Oregon, it's about 90 miles wide at its widest. So we're going to be crossing over it, dropping into the Willamette Valley today. More tarmac today. There's nothing we could do to get around it. Like I said before, the burns and the snowpacks are just make it very, very difficult for us to traverse. But there is going to be a lot of opportunity for us to have fun today if you want to, or you can chill today if you want to.
We made our way along the Oregon Trail, the Santiam Wagon Road, stopping by this gorgeous mountain lake for lunch, where some members chose to take a swim. I only put my feet in because, though the air was quite warm, the water was exceptionally cold. Enjoying the minimal amount of dirt roads that we got to drive on that day, we had no idea the struggle with nature we were about to encounter.
We might be able to like pick it up. Yeah, if we got someone, even if we got someone behind Mark with a winch, they could just hold it while Mark drove by,
there you go.
set it back down.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So on Trail 845, there's a little bit of a downed tree here. We got some big vans with trailers. They don't quite fit. So we're gonna try to do some winching. Hey Martin, I need some. And some pulling. And some cutting. Hopefully clear this road.
You're having a good time?
Yeah.
We ended up doing a lot of digging as well. We were able to get these vans and trailers through. I think I can speak for everyone and say what's so cool about encountering an obstacle like this with a group is just everyone pulling their heads together, sharing knowledge and ideas, and ultimately conquering it together. The technical aspect of these downed trees, particularly for those members towing a trailer, did not end at the low bridge. There was another section of downed trees diagonally across the trail, and whoever cleared these logs definitely did not have full-sized rigs with trailers in mind.
Let's get it just a nice little ramp. You're gonna stay straight. Don't turn. Until you feel that rear come way up, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3. On that third up, down, okay? Beauty. No. Back up. Okay, driver.
Obstacle conquered. This was the last obstacle on the trail. We entered a large parking area along the side of the highway, where everyone aired up tires for the highway drive to the coast. Made it to our destination campsite for day 2, night 2, and it's drastically different than yesterday. It is 58 degrees right now. Coming down out of the Cascades, it was 94. That's a big swing. I'm in a t-shirt still, but I am excited to get my hoodie out of the Jeep when we get to camp. Everybody's airing down right now because we're in the dunes on the coast. That's the sound of the ocean and wind, if you can hear it. So, about to have everybody roll by and come into camp here for the night. Everybody's excited to eat some food. It's about 8 p.m. Yeah, it's a bit of a late dinner, but I think everybody's gonna be really excited to spend some time eating some food around a campfire, get camp set up, and chill. Just as Martin promised, there was plenty of time to play. We'd stayed at Dunes City, Oregon, which is a public area where you can get out in the dunes, on the beach, and play around in the sand.
Well, that was after we screwed around for a little bit trying to get it out.
Woo! It's a fantastic restaurant that we're gonna go to. It's on the coast, so it's like that, but with food. We're gonna be sitting and dining and watching the waves come in. So it's a fantastic restaurant. We're gonna get there around like 1:45, 2 p.m. And it's a super easy day, but we're gonna take that 101 all the way up the coast. So, you know, guys, just try to take it in and enjoy. Did everybody enjoy getting out onto the dirt, into the sand?
It was alright. People got
I like this so much to bringing a bunch back.
Yeah.
It's just like mementos, right?
Yep.
We'll get up into Pacific City, and then we'll enjoy. And then there'll be an opportunity if you guys want to stay, like do some more beach stuff. There's an opportunity for that. And then we'll end up in Hillsboro. So we'll be about 45 minutes west of Portland. We're going to learn what makes the terrain in the Willamette Valley in Oregon farming so significant from a farmer. He's a good friend of mine. He's got a fantastic winery, and we get to camp there today. So today's like a super casual day. There's no real wheeling outside of what you guys did this morning. We're about to put together the last leg of this trip. We're headed to a good friend of mine's winery. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you to Barry for lunch. All right, so we're gonna head out It's an hour and like 38 minutes to the next spot.
We wound our way from the coast inland to the vineyard we would be staying at tonight. It was really interesting to see another aspect that Oregon has to offer, the farmlands and rolling hills, while still seeing in the distance those beautiful snow-capped mountains.
So we're here today at Old 47 Estate, and that's the name behind us. This is the name of the vineyard, Old 47. We crush a lot of our fruit from Old 47. We work in tandem with the owners, plus a vineyard management company called Socialize Estate Vineyards, to make the wine that we have here today. This first one here is a really lightweight white wine. It's a sparkling. It's 58% Blanc Noir, so that's Pinot Noir done in a white style. 42% Riesling, and it's all 100% estate grown from this surrounding vineyard right here. I can't think of anything in particular that encapsulates a sense of time and place better than grapes and wine in particular, because grapes, especially Pinot Noir, are very expressive. Pinot has a tendency to express how it was grown, how it was treated in the winery, and so with that, Pinot Noir in particular is probably one of the best varietals that you can drink to get an expression of where it came from.
As you might have guessed, I'm not much of a wine person, but I learned a lot about wine and farming from Ben's presentation, and I'm really thankful for it. Everyone was really engaged and enjoyed both the wines that we tasted and learning everything Ben had to teach us about the whole process. We wound down that evening with some snacks around a little campfire and having a really unique this versus that debate. When a vehicle does circles in the dirt, spinning the tires, do you call it a donut or do you call it a cookie?
Do you do a donut or do you do a cookie? They said cookie.
Wait. How do you describe it? Because you can't say, are you doing a cookie?
You want a donut? Okay.
Oh my God.
Day 4. I don't think anyone was truly excited to wake up this morning. Aside from it being a beautiful morning, it was also the end of a really incredible adventure and a time among friends experiencing everything that Central Oregon has to offer. With busy schedules and everything going on in the world, it's not easy to pull a group of people this size together from this many areas of the country to spend 4 days together. Some were old friends, some meeting for the first time, but after this, we're all family. We've experienced some trials together, we've taken in some incredible sights, and experienced parts of Oregon in a way that a lot of people will never get to. This is one of those life memories that you'll carry with you for the rest of your days. None of us are guaranteed any specific amount of time on this earth, so make sure that your time is spent making great memories with great people and doing the things that you love.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Jesse.
It was sad to say goodbye, but we know that we'll see each other again on the trail, at an event, or whenever our paths cross sometime in the near future. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll consider subscribing.